And again, just position 4s and offlaners currently being banned out. Beastmaster has actually gotten through the entire draft a couple times. I'm guessing on the Chinese scene, Beastmaster isn't as popular, but certainly a premier offlaner. Earth Spirit, another really good position 4. Banned out. Hey dude, what's going on? Weed all day. Having a good time, ready to draft a best of 5 grand finals. Hoping it goes the full 5 games, so I can stay up all night again. I preemptively made a pot of coffee, so I'm prepared. Got my thermos. Oh, Sun Gaming 1-0 advantage. Okay, that makes sense since they're coming from the winners bracket. Sun Gaming actually the team that knocked Newbee Young into the losers bracket. We saw that yesterday, or very early in the stream yesterday. Yeah, it's kind of annoying that they don't have that marked already on the board there. Sun Gaming already having a 1-0 advantage. But when I looked at Join Dota, it did say that Sun Gaming already had 1-0.
Night
So
Stalker.
that certainly makes sense. Night Stalker actually makes it through the banning phase, so it's immediately picked up by Sun Gaming. Pretty darn good roaming hero, very obnoxious. Around the 4-minute mark, when he's just going to be able to chase you down under tier 1 tower. Pretty much effective against any hero, especially if Night Stalker manages to get level 3 before then. Sand King, pretty open pick. Can be either played position 3 or position 4 for Newbee Young. Not really revealing much with that pickup, whereas Sun Gaming will definitely be laning Night Stalker as their roaming position 4. Newbee Young has pretty good team fight control with the Burrow Strike coming in from Sand King. Burst damage coming in from Epicenter. Overall, a very top tier pick in the current meta.
Witch Doctor.
Witch Doctor, so Newbee Young doubling down on the AoE stuns. Cask will be able to hit multiple people. Good sustain for pushes coming out from Newbee Young. Witch Doctor actually pretty good against the Night Stalker. Would be able to sustain any carry he's in the lane with. If Night Stalker decides to dive him. And can also stun the Night Stalker up and stop him from charging down at a tier 1 tower. And Rubik, pretty good counter pick to either Sand King or Witch Doctor, actually. And as you see, Windows updates. Get out of here. But Rubik is a good counter to both Witch Doctor and Sand King. Both have fantastic... Wow, so that banning phase went really quick. Both heroes, or both teams know what they want to ban out. Brewmaster is super obnoxious to deal with. Timbersaw is actually a interesting pickup, so I'm guessing that Sun Gaming are wanting to get something like a CK or a Sven as their position 1 carry. So I'd look out for a hard-hitting melee hero coming in from Sun Gaming. They may save that for the final pick, though. So Newbee Young, drafting the Death Prophet, looks like they're looking to push early and often. They have Witch Doctor sustain, to help them out with the pushes, and Death Prophet Ultimate will be able to help them bring down towers. And also by picking up their mid lane next, they're not revealing whether Sand King is a position 4 or position 3, leaving their draft just a little bit open. Obviously, they're not going to want to draft their position 1 as of right now. But drafting their mid laner instead of a off laner or position 4 just leaves the Sand King pick as just a little bit of a mystery for now. For Sun Gaming, yeah, position 4s and 5 already picked up. Could get something that immediately counters a Death Prophet, like, say, Queen of Pain is a very popular mid pickup, able to blink away from Spirit Siphon if it comes in. But Centaur, I'm going to call a Centaur Invoker lineup coming in from Sun Gaming. Centaur Stomp into... Oh, Tiny's still on the board. So maybe actually, Tiny would make a whole lot of sense for Sun Gaming, as they did ban out the Timber Saw. And that would bring a total of 3 strength heroes for Sun Gaming. And actually, I do like Tiny as their 4th pickup. Be able to toss a Centaur in.
Tide Hunter.
I can dig it. Razor is still in the pool if they want to counter out the Tide Hunter in lane. So Tide Hunter and Tiny, or excuse me, Tiny and Razor, both were very good pickups for Sun Gaming. And it looks like Sand King will be a position 4 pickup with the drafting of Tide Hunter for Newbee Young. Sup, Gabsy Dodo, how's it going?
Razor.
Having a good time. Sun Gaming, even though it's not explicitly stated, already has a 1-0 advantage in the grand final, since they are coming from the winner's bracket, for those of you that may not be aware. So, looks like Sun Gaming will end up picking up the Razor, and will almost definitely be laning him against the Tide Hunter. It is a pretty easy counter coming out for Sun. And actually surprising that they would choose to ban out Nyx Assassin rather than Razor, knowing that you would be drafting a Tide Hunter. But maybe Tide Hunter was some sort of answer to the Centaur War Runner pick. Tide being able to blink ahead of the Centaur if he uses his ultimate to try and escape. Ravage will be able to shut down pretty much anybody running away during the Centaur ult. Sun for the win. We will have to see. I'm rooting for Newbee Young here. They kind of got stomped out from their previous series against Sun Gaming. Pretty much 2 draft losses, in my opinion, coming in yesterday. I forget the exact drafts. I just remember Newbee Young's was pretty much countered out by Sun Gaming in their previous upper bracket appearance. Or yeah. So Medusa coming in. So it's going to be Medusa mid against Death Prophet. I can dig it. Medusa will be able to stay out of Death Prophet's range for the majority of the time, but we'll have to watch out in case the Spirit Siphon ever does land on her. Super obnoxious because Medusa is not the fastest hero. But Sun Gaming have drafted a very, very solid, well-rounded lineup. Every single lane so far for Sun Gaming looks very favorable. Medusa versus Death Prophet, I think both. That's sort of a wash. Razor versus Tide Hunter. Razor's definitely going to be getting some farm. And the Night Stalker Rubik is going to be able to make plays and kills in pretty much every lane. Yeah, in pretty much any lane that they rotate to.
Luna.
Gambling big money. Luna pick coming in. So, don't see how that's a counter to anybody on Sun Gaming team. And Luna is really going to struggle once the 4-minute mark hits and Night Stalker and Centaur decide to run at her. Pretty sure that at the 4-minute mark you're going to expect a Luna kill. Or death, I should say. And overall, I like Sun Gaming. Sun Gaming's draft again. Their laning looks very solid, and it's going to be up to the Sand King and Witch Doctor in order to get Newbee Young through the early laning phase. And even coming into late, it's Luna versus Medusa, and Medusa certainly can hold her own against a farmed Luna. If anybody in chat actually likes Newbee Young's draft better, let me know and why. I guess they have more team fight in the later stages of the game. Lots of AoE stuns coming out with Tidehunter for Newbee Young. So if they ever get to the phase where Tidehunter has Refresher Orb and he's able to land a multi-man double Ravage, I think that would be the saving grace coming in for Newbee Young's draft. Smoke rotation coming out for Sun Gaming. 5-man. Don't think they'll find anybody. Tidehunter hiding under his tier 1 tower. So I think he's going to be safe for now. And actually Tide is venturing out just a little bit further. He's going to have to watch himself. Smoke fades away. Won't be able to tell that Tidehunter is hiding in the trees. Good Observer Ward will block out the small camp. And it looks like the Bounty Runes across the map will just be split up. Sun Gaming taking the top 2. Newbee Young taking the bottom. And, yeah. So, early on, it looks like Sun Gaming have favorable laning matchups. Grazer has been put up against a Tidehunter, so he's going to have a very, very easy time. And Centaur will try and do his best against a triple stun lane coming in. With Witch Doctor, Sand King, and Luna in the bot lane. And this could very well be the first blood, even though Centaur is pretty tanky at level 1, 700 HP. 3 stuns is nothing to joke at, or joke with. And we'll just sit here, wait and see whether Centaur tries to get a last hit in. And it does look like he... Oh, good creep aggro, but... Even better deny coming out from Witch Doctor. Thank you for the follow, Just G. And so Centaur doing very good, drawing creep aggro to try and get a few last hits in a very tricky laning situation for himself. Even drawing creeps under the tower. Not sure whether that's a good idea now that the Radiant lane will be pushing up, and Centaur will have to deal with pushing forward more and more away from the safety of his tier 1 tower. Newbee actually chasing in. Cask will not land twice on the Centaur, and Newbee Young will just have to back up. Sand King reveals himself in lane, which I think it was fairly obvious that he was in the bottom lane, considering he hadn't shown at all in the mid. So where else is the Sand King going to be on the map, if not just waiting for a kill on the bot lane? Kong's a 2. Thank you for the follow. Difficult name to pronounce, though. At least for someone from Oklahoma. Tidehunter, let's see what he's doing. He's actually gotten 3 last hits in lane, so I'd say that's above the expected average against Razor, who's just going to be able to steal away all the right-click damage coming in from the Tide. Razor actually starting out with Windlace and Boots of Speed already, so he's going to be able to chase down the Tiny, sitting at 350 movement speed versus a 345 of the Tiny. Go has been declared, and in mid lane, looks like they're farming relatively even. Slight advantage going to the Death Prophet at 6-3 compared to the 5-0 of the Medusa. And I'm still going to be looking at the bot lane. Thank you, 123. Yeah, definitely I think this bot lane is going to be where the first blood occurs, unless Tidehunter really overextends himself. Let's Grazer get, say, a level 3 static link and 150 damage on him. Centaur getting his second last hit of the game, feeling pretty good about himself. Sand King actually has left the lane for a little bit, contesting. Ooh, as I was saying, Sand King left the lane for a little bit to contest the 2-minute runes, but he's back now. Cast coming in, won't bounce multiple times onto the Night Stalker. Follow up Maledict into stun coming in from Sand King. Night Stalker's pretty tanky though, but right click still coming in from the Witch Doctor. Night Stalker is getting very aggressive here, but will be rewarded with a kill. Luna trying to get a follow-up, will not be able to do so. Sand King will be able to defend his position 1 carry, but unfortunately it will be first blood going in for Sun Gaming there. 360 gold and V11, thank you. And Berserker Row, appreciate that as well. And Laytoy 13. Yeah, probably I may have to disable that if I get too many people on the follow train. Death Prophet has double null build. Blackshot 54, thank you. Death Prophet double null build will help her outlast hit the Medusa here in the mid lane, already 18-7 versus the 14-1. And Super Paw 16, thank you. Getting the follow train going. Luna already has power treads. Wraithband working on that Ring of Aquila. Going Magic Wand, actually. Not sure whether I agree with that. It's 500 gold. Probably could be spent towards the Mask of Madness, and you're not getting a whole lot of value out of that Magic Wand. Just in this early laning phase against a Centaur. Not a lot of spells Centaur's going to be spamming. And Luna should be relatively safe with a tri-lane. Sand King making a rotation mid. Siphon has been used, but there's no follow-up stun coming in from Sand King. And that's just going to be the end of that little bit of aggression. We can follow the action here mid. Watching Medusa farm up. Once she gets level 3 in the Mystic Snake, you're probably going to see her start bursting. Okay, so Night Stalker roaming around as it is nighttime, so he's going to be looking to try and get a few kills. Starting out mid, but his duties in mid will just include stacking the Ancient Camp. YSTK1, thank you very much. And Night Stalker will be rotating top. Place an Observer Ward, hopefully. Yeah, he's not going to be able to go down onto the Tidehunter in the top lane, 141. Wonderbur, thank you very much. But Tidehunter, let's see, 17-0, so Tide is doing significantly better than I thought he would here in the top lane. Grazer not getting too aggressive, hasn't been able to get a kill onto him as of yet. And looks like something may be happening here in the bot lane as the tri-lane has re-emerged. Sand King back in the bottom, trying to help his Luna. Stun coming onto the Night Stalker. Follow up Maledict and Cask. Will not probably be... Yeah, Night Stalker will not be brought down. And the Maledict is still... Let's see. Maledict only level 1 at this point, so... so Night Stalker should be safe from taking down to that. And Bahista 12, thank you very much. In the meantime, in mid lane, Medusa does have level 3 on that Mystic Snake. I'm going to be looking for her just to start bursting down these waves, and then eventually going and farming a jungle camp in between each wave. Death Prophet may make a rotation here. It does have a bottled Invisirun, so could be looking to make a aggressive move onto the bot lane. Is there a smoke coming out? No, Sand King does not have a smoke, but with the Invisirun popped, we'll see if a 5-man rotation coming in from Newbee Young will be able to get a kill onto this either Centaur or Night Stalker. Night Stalker has at least got boots on him, so, and they are not hiding anything about this. Tidehunter just showing himself in lane instantly, so, but a good well-placed sentry coming in will be able to save the Night Stalker's life. He's just able to fly away. Ultimate used by the Death Prophet will be able to take down the tier 1 tower. Not contested by Sun Gaming, who instead will be trying to push a top lane, but albeit a lot more slowly with the Razor. Slowly right-clicking that down. Oh, Razor actually teleporting in. They're trying to fight into the Death Prophet ultimate. Not very wise of them. Already Centaur has fallen. Looking for more Death Prophet. Going very low. Ends up falling. To the right-click damage coming in from the Razor. Actually gets a triple kill. Or 3 kills going towards the Sun Gaming. 700 gold in Sun Gaming's pocket, and actually retain their tier 1 tower. So good TP in coming in from the Razor and Centaur, sacrificing himself for the greater good. Or at least frontlining for the greater good. And Razor will just use his ultimate to farm up some creeps. In the meantime, has 300 gold towards his Drum of Endurance recipe. We'll be completing that in about 200. Medusa working on Mask of Madness here first, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. Nukes down the wave, and we'll be walking towards the jungle camp in order to farm that up. Mid Medusas are super efficient on the Radiant side, and you do see much more Radiant Medusas drafted than you do see Dire Medusas, just for that efficiency of farming up the mid-jungle camps. Luna did end up purchasing up the magic wand and will not be will delay her own either Mask of Madness or Hurricane Pike by just a little bit because of it. We'll see whether the magic wand actually pays dividends, saves her life in an upcoming team fight. GG Borgs 2, thank you for the follow. But overall, I just don't like the pickup there. I think Luna can afford to be just a little bit more greedy. Aggression coming in. Witch Doctor uses his... okay, so... good... two actually fall for Sun Gaming. Tidehunter looking for more, but Medusa coming in will be a little bit aggressive. Thinking we'll make it out alive. Actually getting a little bit flustered just with the amount of followers coming in. But Death Prophet in the mid lane will be able to bring down the tier 1 tower. Good deny attempt coming out from the Centaur. Will not be able to power through the Death Prophet ultimate, which will be on cooldown for the next few minutes. Cryptic Blaze, thank you very much. Luna is working on that Mask of Madness in the bot lane. Will be able to split push fairly effectively. Centaur on the chase. Knight is not available for about a minute and a half. So he shouldn't be looking to get too aggressive. But there's still 4 for Sun Gaming in the top lane. They're probably looking to turn this group up into a tier 1 tower. Would not be surprised if that happens fairly soon. As Razor... Okay, so Razor's coming back, defending his own tier 1 tower in the bot lane. Centaur ult coming in, lift available for the Rubik. Will be able to bring down to Luna, who does have her ultimate available, but is isolated amongst 3 Sun Gaming heroes. She will go down, as does Witch Doctor. Cask not being able to save his life there. Good Centaur ultimate used aggressively. Able to bring down 2 for Sun Gaming. And not only do they get the kill in the bot lane, but Sun Gaming was able to bring down the tier 1 top tower in the meantime while that was all happening. And Sun Gaming really really doing well here in the early game. Already 1,000 gold advantage for them. And with a good early game and a Medusa pick to anchor your late game lineup, it's going to be very... You're going to need some very good team fights coming in from Newbee Young to bring this game back for them. But a smoke rotation with Luna Eclipse is certainly one way to do that. Sending Sand King up front. Level 3 Burrow Strike will be able to put in some good disable. Cask is available, and illusions are conveniently placed there in order to bring down the Night Stalker. Eclipse wasn't even used there. Instead, Witch Doctor gets to use his ultimate in order to secure that kill. While that pickoff was happening, Medusa making space in the mid lane, gets a tier 1 tower, and the only tier 1 tower left for Newbee Young is on the bottom lane. And Razor is rotating down there to try and correct that as soon as possible. Death Prophet using her ultimate to try and push down a tier 2 tower, but she should be backing up. Centaur ultimate is available, so the Centaur ult into Rubik Glyph combination has already been used once. Ravage used, trying to focus down the Death Prophet with Razor right clicks, will be able to do so. Tidehunter silent stub after using the Ravage, and it is 2 for 0 exchange going in favor of Sun Gaming. Razor has completed those Drum of Endurance. Going for Hurricane Pike next. And I guess Razor's just wanting to scale hard into the mid game. Or maybe not scale hard is wrong phrasing for it. But is now WWW. Thank you very much. But... Razor's wanting to anchor and tank for the Sun Gaming lineup just by the very conservative item choices coming in. Going drums into Hurricane Pike, wanting to be that that tank to allow Medusa to farm aggressively, go for items like Mask of Madness to help her accelerate her farm to be the late game tank and right click damage. In the meantime, Newbee Young has... Okay, stacking Ancients for Luna. I guess that makes sense. Want to get her farm going. She still only has Mask of Madness, working on a Hurricane Pike of her own. Very close to completing it. Let's see. Actually, I thought she had the Dragonlance on the courier, but it looks like she just has a Force Staff queued up. There isn't something like a cogs coming in to necessitate that early Force Staff pickup. I probably would have preferred Luna go something like Yasha into Manta style, just to make her more tanky, let her stay in the front lines of team fights, and also accelerate her farm. Centaur Stomp coming in will be able to isolate and bring down Witch Doctor. Didn't quite catch that. And it looks like Sun Gaming will claim this stack for Medusa, and there's nothing Newbee Young can really do about it. Tidehunter Ultimate is available in 6 seconds, but doesn't have Blink Dagger in order to start that team fight. Centaur just standing on the cliff there, and yeah, Tidehunter just retreating back. Well, okay. So he uses the Ravage in order to start the team fight. Luna ult will be able to bring down the Razor. Very good coming in from Newbee Young. This is exactly how they're supposed to start the team fights. Rubik doing a very good job stealing the Spirit Siphon in order to heal himself back up. 2 for 2 trade coming in. Soon to be 3 for 2 as Centaur does fall. Which means... Okay. So Night Stalker may end up falling. Yeah. So a 4 for 2 exchange for Newbee Young using... all their big team fight abilities super well to... Wow. So 2,000 gold exchange at the 16-minute mark is huge. Newbee Young showing the power of their draft, just being able to stack all of their ultimates into one massive team fight. And that's pretty much how they have to come back, is taking massive team fights and hopefully getting a good ravage off onto several people. And it's very fortunate that Tidehunter wasn't able to get bursted down at the beginning of that team fight, or Newbee Young probably would have been a 5-man wipe in the opposite direction. Razor has completed his 4 staff working on BKB, and you just saw in the team fight why BKB is absolutely necessary on the Razor. Lots of stuns and burst damage coming in from the Tidehunter, Sand King, Witch Doctor, all of which have good team fight AoE stuns. Looks like Tidehunter may get isolated out, caught by Sun Gaming. But he's just able to pop his Hooded Defiance, pretty tanky at 1300 HP, 4 levels in Kraken Shell already, and kind of hard to bring down even when you bring 4-on-1 against the Tidehunter. So Luna probably got a pretty penny from that previous team fight. Was able to complete her 4 staff, 1600 gold towards her next item of choice. Yet to be seen whether she's going to decide to complete the Hurricane Pike or go for something like Mana Style, or maybe a BKB of her own will be in order. But I actually would prefer just a more stat-oriented lineup, or a item with additional stats. I think that would be more effective for Luna to save her 10-second BKB for as late as possible to really combo well with, say, Octarine Core or Death Prophet in the later stages of the game. Medusa, on the other hand, has completed her Hurricane Pike, working on Iascati. And this is a game where I actually would like to see Medusa go for a BKB relatively early. There's too much stun coming out for Newbee Young for a Lincoln Sphere to really make sense. I think BKB is the item of choice, even on Medusa, who generally just go for additional stats into Iascati and possibly Butterfly. But with everybody on Newbee Young having either magic damage or stun, I do think BKB is a must-have item. Luna making an aggressive push here in the top lane, along with support coming in from the Sand King. He channeled the Epicenter there, but a good lift coming in from the Rubik will be able to save the day. And Newbee Young will just have to settle for the tier 1 tower here. Not sure whether they want to get too aggressive. Okay, so bad team fight communication coming in. Sand King trying to make the aggressive move while Newbee Young was backing out. Ravage is available from the Tidehunter. Will be able to use it onto 2. Medusa ult has been used along with the Centaur. Will be trying to... Okay, so they're going to be going on to the Tidehunter. They're caught out. In the front of the team fight, Newbee Young will be backing up. And just a 1-person kill coming in for the Sun Gaming side. Centaur ult and Medusa Stone Gaze used to secure that kill. With the Death Prophet ultimate running low as far as time, it's probably wise for Newbee Young just to back up there. Eclipse was used in that team fight, but wasn't able to net them a kill. Sun Gaming able to put the Aegis onto the Medusa, which will certainly give her the space she needs in order to finish up the Iascati. Death Prophet has a Invisurine, and will probably use it to silence up the Night Stalker and bring him eventually down. TP in coming in from the Razor, looking to get a counter kill. Medusa on the chase does have Mask of Madness for the movement speed. Witch Doctor ends up falling. Sorry, buddy. It's 1-for-1 exchange. 2 supports going down, relatively even as far as gold. exchanged. And this is a pretty darn even match at the 21-minute mark. Very close in, as far as net worth. Medusa scaling very well into the late game. All of her item timings is on point. As well as the Medusa, I can bring up the net worth for you guys. Luna as well has completed her Hurricane Pike, has 3,000 gold towards that butterfly. Yep. So, was able to bring up the net worth for you guys. Centaur completed up his Blink Dagger, working on 4 staff, pretty standard build up for him. Wouldn't be surprised if he goes for Aghanim Scepter next. Aghanim Scepter, Centaur, really good when you, if you can ever get a free Refresher Shard from the from the 3rd Roshan. And that's typically the timing that Centaur lineups want to try and push high ground and end the game, is around that 3rd Roshan and Aghanim Scepter on the Centaur. Okay, so team fight coming in. Looks like Death Prophet is going to be able to tank through the damage being supplied by Sun Gaming. Multiple Spirit Siphons coming in, but a stun follow-up from Sand King will be able to bring down the Rubik. And with Death Prophet Ultimate being used, a counter tier 2 has been taken by Newbee Young, and both teams matching tit for tat there. 2 tier 2s going down pretty shortly. Newbee Young doing a very good job at split pushing against Sun Gaming, as they don't really want to fight into a Aegis Medusa. Most definitely will be trying to contest the next the next Roshan. Probably can't afford to let Medusa get the second Aegis here in a few minutes. But there's still 2 minutes left on the current Aegis. 3,400 gold in the bank for Medusa. She'll be walking towards the secret shop in order to purchase up the Eye of Scotty, and she will be an absolute beast with that. Plus 800 mana was her level 20 talent, and with 2,300 mana and 2,100 HP, it's going to be very difficult for Newbee Young to take her down. even once. They're going to have to pretty much focus all of their ultimates onto the Medusa in order to bring her down. Maledict is actually a very good spell in order to burst through the high HP heroes, as the damage does scale up with HP. Death Prophet has purchased up BKB and Yule Scepter, doing her best to try and split push the bot lane, as Sun Gaming will take the final outer tier 2 tower for Newbee Young. TP coming in from Death Prophet. Looks like they may actually be looking to contest this tier 2 push. A little bit unusual considering the Medusa's Aegis will be expiring in about 45 seconds. There is no reason to start this team fight. I don't know what you're doing, Tide, but you better back up. Medusa does not have a problem with sacrificing her life with 30 seconds left on the Aegis. I'm sure that would tickle her quite a bit. And Newbee Young makes a smart move and gives up the tier 2 tower, and the Aegis will expire in about 19 seconds. Solar Crest purchased up by the Night Stalker still only has Boots of Speed. Item of choice next is Blink Dagger. I guess he's really putting priority on trying to blink into the backlines of Newbee Young, possibly silence really anybody. If you get a good silence off onto Newbee Young, that can turn a team fight around for Sun Gaming, whether it's silencing up the Sand King before he gets an initiation off, or follow-up casks from the Witch Doctor. I really do like the blink being queued up for the Night Stalker. And again, 25-minute mark still can be anybody's game. 1k gold lead for Sun Gaming, but one massive team fight, and Newbee Young can certainly turn the tables on Sun Gaming. They certainly have the ultimates to do it with Tidehunter Ravage off a cooldown, as well as Eclipse coming in from Luna, who Luna actually hasn't been able to complete an Iascati of her own, so Luna herself is just looking to tank up, get those additional stats that are so good in this patch. And I guess no team is really wanting to get too aggressive here without the Aegis. The next team fight is definitely going to be over the Roshan pit. I don't think there's any way Newbee Young will be letting Sun Gaming steal it again. In fact, I doubt they're even going to try and push a tier 2 tower mid before contesting Aegis. There's no reason to waste your ultimate if you're a Death Prophet on a tier 2 tower when the Aegis is just so much more important. Newbee Young really need to take a decisive team fight victory in the near future. And for Sun Gaming, they're going to have to get a pick off before going into the Roshan pit. With good AoE stuns coming in from Sand King and the Tidehunter, I don't think they're going to want to get stuck hitting Roshan when Newbee Young are waiting in the wings. 3.5k on Luna. BKB probably the next item she will be purchasing. We'll most likely save her buyback though, in case she gets picked off before the next Aegis attempt. Rotation coming in from Sun Gaming. We'll be able to catch out the Sand King. Lift coming up. We'll be able to bring Sand King down. Centaur ult was able to secure that. Roughly 600 gold. Majority of the damage done by Centaur in that pickoff. Night Stalker has 1,000 gold towards that Blink Dagger. Centaur does have the Aghanim Scepter queued up. About 1,000 gold away from completing that. Death Prophet. Working on Shiva's. Very close to having that complete. Medusa has finished up her Butterfly. So you can tack on Evasion with that. Okay, 4 coming in for Newbee Young. This could be the team fight they were looking for. Ravage and Luna being able to focus down the Medusa. Along with the Maledict, she could be falling here. But Medusa, pretty darn tanky, able to use her ultimate in order to Stone Gaze up 3 on the Newbee Young side. Grazer trying to front line for the Medusa, but will end up paying for it with his life. Medusa almost focused down by the Death Prophet there. Good Yule Scepter in order to try and slow her up, but a Centaur ultimate will be able to bring the Medusa safely back to the fountain. Now for Luna, do you go MKB to counter out the Medusa Butterfly, or do you go Butterfly yourself? Luna looks like she's choosing just to get additional evasion, but I could certainly see why a MKB could be the item of choice, because they do have... Okay, Medusa now getting aggressive. All the teamfight ultimates have been used by Newbee Young. They should not be trying to take this fight. Medusa, standing on the low ground, still able to do massive amounts of right-click damage. I don't think... Yeah, Newbee Young should just be backing up. Agents will be respawning here in about 40 seconds. Trying to be used. Newbee Young not content to let Sun Gaming have this Roshan for free. Yeah, it's very unfortunate that all the teamfight spells were used by Newbee Young in the previous engagement, but I guess Roshan timer being so long, they will be allowed to have their ultimates available for the next for the fight around for the next Rosh. all cores are tanky. Hate this. Yeah, all the pros have pretty much realized that stats are the way to win these team fights. With Tiny being a very popular pickup, as well as heroes that complete Sanjin Yasha and or Ayascati. God, Medusa does so much right-click damage, even to the Tidehunter, able to bring him down pretty low. But the heals coming in from Witch Doctor will be able to perk him right back up. Sun Gaming smoked up behind the Medusa there. Night Stalker flying around looking to get aggressive here. But Tidehunter will be able to break the smoke quite effectively. Sun Gaming possibly considering... wow, Luna, that's not the place you want to be. And she's probably going to end up falling here. Does she have buyback? Yeah, 3,600 gold into the bank. And Luna will end up falling near the tier 3 tower. She has to buy back if okay, so Stone Gaze will be used up onto the Death Prophet, trying to focus down the Medusa. Don't know why Luna is still waiting around here. I do think that was a pretty big mistake by Luna not buying back, as Newbee Young just completely team-wiped as position 1 carry, who saved 3,600 gold for the buyback, does not use it in the middle of a team fight. And guess what? Good job, Luna. You saved your buyback. Now what's going to happen? Tidehunter TP's into the middle of 4 Sun Gaming heroes, and they're just going to be pushing tier 3 tower. Luna, being pretty darn stubborn, does not want to buy back at all costs, including at least 1 laner axe, possibly a Roshan. Sun Gaming will take 1 laner axe, going for 2. 19 seconds left on the death timer for Luna. Yep, Eclipse. That was very, very unfortunate for Newbee Young there. When they're going over the tape of this game, which I'm sure they will, they're going to be questioning that decision. But because Luna didn't use that buyback, she does have 3,800 gold in the bank, and should be able to complete her butterfly relatively quickly. And with the introduction of so many talents for all the heroes, losing 1 laner axe isn't that big of a deal in the current patch, just because every hero is so strong on their own. We'll be able to easily cleave through any lane of megas with Luna Glaives coming out. Tidehunter working on his refresher, 700 gold towards that. BKB actually purchased up by the Medusa, and like I was saying earlier, I think that's a really good item pickup coming out from Medusa against all the teamfight lockdown coming in from Newbee Young, which, even though the 6k gold lead isn't that significant for 34 minutes into the game, having that all that net worth on the Medusa, it's going to make it very, very difficult for Newbee Young to win any other engagement unless they're able to chain stun her before she gets a BKB off. And even if they do chain stun her perfectly, she's still probably not going to die. So I think Newbee Young is going to have to, like, pick off at least 1 hero before a real team fight even begins. There's 1 stun, and BKB used by the Medusa does have 4 staff plus ultimate, will be able to chase down Newbee Young. So Death Prophet ultimate was used in exchange for the Medusa ult, and Newbee Young actually will be looking to get aggressive here in the Roshan pit. Razor not willing to give it up. Ravage still available. And yeah, Death Prophet's just gonna say, "Come at me, bro." Oh, that's the worst thing you can do. Is okay, so Ravage hits onto 3. Centaur ult will mean Razor's able to chase down Luna. 280 damage stolen from the Luna at this point. Razor not really worried about the right click damage coming in. Sanking stun does end up missing. Oh my god. So Sand King channeled his epicenter there, but wasn't able to complete it again. And that's a pretty big teamfight cooldown being used by the Sand King. 2 fall for Newbee Young. Creeps are in the base, so in the bot lane. So Sun Gaming will be able to take the tier 3 tower and top racks uncontested. And I would be surprised if they don't get megas off of this as well. So just a whole bunch of mistakes. And I don't want to say it came down exclusively to Luna not buying back, but that previous team fight was the opportunity for Newbee Young to close out the game before Medusa had the BKB. And once that BKB was purchased up, there's nothing that Newbee Young could really do about it. Good game has been called, and that's going to be game number 1. Sun Gaming up 2-0 in the best of 5 series. They did get a bonus game just because they were in the upper bracket. Newbee Young challenging them from the lower bracket. Thank you very much for all the follows and for watching me. I will definitely be casting game number 2 of this series.